Hello and welcome. In this video, I am going to be talking about Fauré Le Page and specifically their exotic leather bags. I've been asked to give my thoughts on them. I'm Anesu Sagonda and I produce educational luxury content for anyone after the finer things, whether you're young and starting out in life and wanting to reap the benefits of buying better quality from the get-go, or you're new to money and wanting to learn how to navigate the terrain, or you're into luxury but you want to focus more on high quality, under the radar brands, then my content is geared towards you. Fauré Le Page is a French brand together with another French brand I've spoken about called Pinel in the Wonderful Totes video, which I'm going to attach above. And every time I'm in Paris, I can't help but notice just how many people literally are carrying coated canvas bags, either LV, and now I'm seeing a lot more Goya. For every two people I see, at least one has the Goya. And I keep thinking, my goodness, France has an abundance of heritage brands actually, regardless of heritage, that produce coated canvas. They have a fairly diverse selection, and the two brands that always come to mind are Fauré Le Page and Pinel, because they're offering variety, value, and a good quality product. I was in Paris beginning of this week and I literally stumbled upon Pinel, a flagship. It's located on Boulevard Malesherbes and it's literally behind Hermès mothership, which is on Rue de Faubourg Saint-Honoré. And on the same road, you have to the right Joseph Duclos Moreau, to the left it becomes Rue Saint-Honoré, and you have Goya, Moynat, Louis Vuitton, Delvaux, for example. And before you even get to those stores, you have Rue Cambon that houses Chanel, their flagship, which also have Fauré Le Page. So Fauré Le Page, Pinel are quite close. They're very much where the action is. And they're two brands I just think, oh, I wish a lot more people knew about these brands because they're offering fantastic variety. And when I went into the flagship, you're literally met by an explosion of color. It's a very, very colorful brand. And I like the fact that they have a lot of coated canvas options, a lot of colors, a lot of designs. And they are the only brand that have the coated canvas and leather on the inside, but they've now introduced coated canvas on the outside and then fabric lining on the inside, just to make the bag a little lighter. But the difference is not that big. But hopefully next time I'm in Paris, I'll try and squeeze in a slightly longer trip to the flagship, try and see someone also from the brand and get a better understanding of the brand, because they also have, for the first time I noticed, exotic leather accessories, wallets and so forth. And they use crocodile that's sourced from one of the HCP tanneries, Louisiana. So they're sourcing very good quality leather, and it's rare to find a brand sourcing very good quality leather and then they produce a poor quality product. It just typically doesn't happen. So I'm keen to go and see more of the brand. But coming back to Fauré Le Page, and specifically the exotic leathers, they produce two styles, and the only exotic leather that they work with is alligator. They don't use crocodile, python, ostrich, for example. It's only alligator in two styles. The first style is Pochette Ladies First. It comes in just one size and it's priced at 10,000 euros. It's a bag that's 19 centimeters in length, 13 centimeters in height, and 4 centimeters in width. So it's a fairly small, narrow bag. It's a clutch bag in style with a flap over, but it also comes with an additional hardware strap. So a strap made partly of hardware and leather on the shoulder part. But it's primarily a clutch. The size, the style, I'd say it's great for an occasion, a cocktail party, birthday, wedding, for example, with or without the strap. The bag itself is made from two materials, a mixture of alligator and also goat skin. Specifically goat skin because the style, it's a squishy bag, very easy to travel with. You literally wouldn't have to stuff it with things because it's not a structured bag. Fold it in, place it in your suitcase. The goat skin, in comparison to cowhide, for example, is considerably softer. It's a lot more flexible. It's also thinner. So it works really well with this particular style. The flap over on the front and the front of the bag is alligator, as well as the back of the bag, that is alligator. And then the sides and the bottom of the bag and trimming around the alligator is the goat skin. Inside of the bag is just one big cavernous compartment, and then the back wall, you have a sewn in card holder. So you can forgo carrying a wallet because it's a small bag. Place your cards, cash in the card holder, and then phone, provided it's not a maxi, keys, lipstick, vanity case, things you'd need for an occasion, for example, just out and about for a few hours, would very comfortably fit in there. And then the back of the bag, there's a little slip pocket where you can place a card or cash for easy access, for example. The second style is called Paradise Soft, and there are two size options. The first size, the smaller size, is 19 centimeters in length, 14 centimeters in height, and 7.5 centimeters in width. And that's priced at 13,500 euros. The second size, the slightly bigger size, is 23 centimeters in length, 19 centimeters in height, and 10.5 centimeters in width. And that's priced at 15,500 euros. It's a top handle bag with a flap over, and it comes with an additional leather strap that's adjustable. So you could very easily carry the bag over the shoulder or as a crossbody bag, as an everyday bag, running around bag, as a work bag, an elevated bag nonetheless, even if it's a running around bag, because the alligator gives it a more elevated, elegant look, even if it's for a casual usage. And then you can also carry it just with the top handle, maybe slightly smaller size, occasion, an event, for example, but you do have a good amount of room. The smaller size, 7.5 centimeters in width, and then 10.5 for the slightly bigger size. It's a bag that's made from 3 materials. You have the flap over, the top of the bag, and the back of the bag running down to, I'd say, about halfway. I can't quite tell because there's a tight slip pocket at the back of the bag. That is alligator. The top handle is made from goat skin, and then the body of the bag is the scale canvas, and then the base of the bag you have the goat skin covering the base of the bag with the 4 studs, just to give the bag an elevated profile. It looks a little more elegant, and also just to help minimize scuffing on the bottom. The bag itself is one big cavernous compartment, leather lining on the inside, and on one side you have a zipped pocket, and then the back of the bag has the tight slip pocket, as I mentioned earlier. And so what do I think about Fauré Le Page exotic leather bags? Well, when I found out the price, I thought, my goodness, they are incredibly expensive for what you're getting. With both styles, they're not full alligator, it's part alligator. And I don't think they're good value for your money. I know alligator is typically more expensive than crocodile. It's a more elegant, softer leather. But the Paradise Soft, you're getting a quarter of the bag is covered and is using alligator. Whereas the other one, the Pochette Ladies First, has a little more alligator. What I really noticed, and I remember when I saw the Pochette Ladies First bag for the first time, I wasn't impressed. It's not an impressive bag. When you look at it, you don't think, wow, you're not bowled over by the bag from an aesthetics point of view. It's a very basic, simple construction. There isn't a lot of detail. There isn't anything complex when it comes to the craftsmanship. Fairly basic. And what I found really interesting is the fact that they've trimmed the edges with goat skin, particularly on the flap over, covering the alligator. And then the construction of the bag itself is just goat skin lining on the inside. And it's just very basic, turned edges on the inside. That's it. There isn't anything overly intricate or elaborate about the bag. And I thought, this is really basic, and it's 10,000 euros. It's a lot of money. The edges aren't even edge coated. And what you'll find with a lot of brands is that edge coating is what really pushes the price of the bag up. Some bags will scrimp and they won't edge coat the inside. They will just edge coat the outside of the bag that's exposed to outside elements, but the inside they'll turn the edges or just leave the edges exposed. Whereas they have turned the edges fairly basic, fairly simple, nothing overly complicated. And one thing I've heard from a number of brands is Alligator, or rather Alligator, Crocodile, the exotic leathers are a little more intricate, a little more difficult to work with. You need a certain level of skill. But the skill that's gone into the Pochette Ladies First is minimal. It's not impressive. And then I also looked at the strap. It's made from alligator. It's a mixture of leather and also the hardware. It's light, it's not weighted. And I remember a few weeks ago looking at a similar type of strap, the Tempête from Delvaux, and it's a weighted product, solid. The leather sits very comfortably on your shoulder. You can actually walk around without the bag attached. And it's comfortable, it's solid, you feel it. It's very well thought out. But the Fauré Le Page one, I wasn't impressed at all. It looks cheap. Just the bag, there was nothing that stood out and made me think, I really like this. This is worth 10,000 euros. And then the other bag, the Parade Soft, I thought to myself, you're getting very little alligator. The majority of the bag is made from the scaled canvas. An incredibly cheap material, a little bit of leather. I really like the strap. I like that detail, the twirled leather on the handle. And then there's the leather on the base. Very little leather. And I thought to myself, gosh, I like the 3 different materials they've used. It looks nice together from a design point of view. The bag is nice. I like it. I like the fact that you can dress it up, dress it down, with or without the strap. I like the alligator, the way it just elevates the bag. But for the price, 13,500 euros and 15,500 euros and very little alligator, I just thought, oh my goodness. And it's cheap material. That's the bulk of the bag. Very little alligator, very little craft has really gone into this bag. It's a fairly basic construction. Again, turned edges on the inside. You have a very little edge coating on the alligator. That's where they've put a bit of edge coating around the alligator. And as I mentioned, edge coating really pushes the price up because it's labor intensive, it requires skill, it takes time, and it's done in stages. So it's something that's expensive and really bumps up the price, but you're getting very little edge coating on this. Most of it is just the turned edges. And I just thought, wow, this is very expensive for what you're getting. I'd be more inclined to recommend getting an exotic leather bag. Yes, it's not alligator. From Colombo, for example, they produce bags. Their bags, they use crocodile. It's a higher level of luxury, paying for a better construction. You're paying for full crocodile, for example, around similar price. Or you have another brand I've recently started talking about, French brand, Atelier Renard. I'm going to attach the video above where I spoke about the brand. And they are a custom focused brand. And I remember talking to them about exotic leather bags, alligator, crocodile, and of course, depending on the details, how elaborate, how detailed the bag is. The average bag is going to cost under 10,000 euros to produce, and that is full exotic leather. And I just thought, what are you really getting from Fauré Le Page? Because I don't think it's worth the money. You're not getting a lot of value. There isn't a lot of alligator. There isn't a lot of craft. There isn't a lot of detail with the bags. With the Pochette Ladies First, I'd be more inclined to pay a price around 5,000 euros. I think that's what I would pay for something like that. And even still, that's at a push because it's alligator. And the other bag, slightly bigger, I would place it around 6,000–7,000 euros max between those 2 sizes. But I just don't think it's worth what they are charging. You're not getting a lot from those bags. And I just thought, no, I'm not buying this. I would rather invest my money somewhere else with another brand where you're getting full alligator or full crocodile, for example. Yes, crocodile is different. It's all about the scale pattern, but 2 bags, I don't think justify the price tag, nor would I buy them. Possibly even at half the price, I'd still go elsewhere because you could lower down and go for another brand, Quan Pen, that I'm also going to talk about. But what did stand out in Fauré Le Page, and I always marvel when I go in, is their scaled canvas. They do it incredibly well. When I went in to look at the exotic leather bags, what caught my eye first and foremost was the color of the Cartouchière bag. And it's burgundy color. I like burgundy, but the bag also comes in gray, blue, green. You have those options, and I think maybe 1 or 2 other colors. It's a fantastic bag that would work really well with my own lifestyle. 19 centimeters in length, 14 centimeters in height, and then 5 centimeters in width. It's great as a running around bag. It would work so well for my day trips. I sometimes pop into Paris, get the first train in the morning, come back in the evening. It would be perfect because it would fit all the things that I need for a trip to Paris or a day trip to Switzerland, for example. It's a shoulder bag. It has a permanently attached strap that is adjustable. So over the shoulder or as a crossbody bag. It's a mixture of two materials. The flap over is leather, and then the body of the bag is the scale canvas. And then the inside of the bag is one cavernous compartment lined using fabric, edge trimming around the edges. Front of the bag, you have a little slip pocket so I could place cards, a bit of cash in there, for example. Body of the bag, my sunglasses, my phone, passport, lipstick, and I'm good to go, literally. And then the back of the bag, you also have another tight slip pocket where I could also put my passport, Metro card for easy access. And then the inside of the bag, you do have a zipped pocket in there where I could place cash or cards, for example. It's a good size. I like the design. It's lovely. It would work well dressed up, dressed down. It's great as a running around bag. And I thought, this is really nice. This is different. Do other people know it's there? And it's priced at 1,090 euros, an absolute steal. When you think of the prices, some of the hugely aspirational brands will charge Louis Vuitton, Gucci, for example, Fendi. For a similar bag, they would charge double, triple that price. So to me, this is where Fauré Le Page's strength truly lies. In their scale canvas bags, they have a number of bag options, offering a lot of good variety, good quality at a great price point. And that's where I would really place my focus and attention when it comes to Fauré Le Page, and not the exotic leathers. You're better placed going elsewhere, better value in terms of everything, price, what you're getting, the quality, the amount of alligator craft, better placed going elsewhere.